Okay, welcome to the fourth screencast for Chapter 2. In this screencast, we're going to be continuing our look at the production possibilities frontier, and we're going to look at specialization and gains from trade. We're going to take a little detour from the production possibilities frontier at the very beginning, but then we're going to come right back to it at the end. So, specialization and trade allow improvements in technology and more resources to be shared amongst people. And so that allows the economy to be more productive overall. Specialization can create gains for society. Society is able to consume things that they wouldn't otherwise be able to consume if there wasn't specialization in trade. So we're going to assume again that we have two goods, pizza and wings, and now we're going to have two different people with different abilities in how much wings they can produce and how much pizza they can produce. So here we go. We have Deborah and we have Mike Piazza, Deborah Winger and Mike Piazza. So what if Deborah were to spend all of her time and all of her resources producing only pizza? Well, she could produce 60 pizzas. What if she spent all of her time and all of her resources only producing wings? She could produce 120 wings. What about for Mike? Mike could produce 24 pizzas if he spent all of his time and resources producing pizza, and he could produce 72 wings if he spent all of his time and resources producing nothing but wings, all right? So notice Deborah can produce more of both. If she spends all her time producing only pizza, she produces more than Mike. If she spends all her time producing wings, she can produce more than Mike. So we would say that she has an absolute advantage over Mike. She can do both things better. One person can perform all the tasks more effectively than anyone else, right? That's called an absolute advantage, all right? So it's Deborah. She has an absolute advantage in pizza and wings, okay? So let's look at this by taking Deborah and Mike's production and put it on production possibilities frontier. All right. Again, we go and we say, what if they spent all of their time producing pizzas, and what if they spent all of their time producing wings? And for now, we'll just go with a linear production possibilities frontier like this. All right. Same thing for Mike. He can produce, let's say, 72 wings or 24 pizzas if he spends all of his time. He can also produce this combination in between. And in fact, he can produce any combination in between, just like Deborah can. But for example, she could be producing 40. Okay, so now let's look at a case where we do have specialization and we do have trade between the two. So in this case, let's first look at a case where Deborah doesn't produce any wings and she only produces pizza, all right? So we said before that if she did that, she could produce 60 pizzas, all right? The same thing with Mike. Let's assume he produces no pizza and only wings. He produces 72. So notice that already we're getting more pizza produced and more wings produced just by them specializing, all right? We get one more pizza produced here, and now, now how much are they able to consume? Deborah, say she keeps 41 pizzas. Well, that's one more pizza than she kept in the scenario in the last slide. That's one more than she had. And let's say she gives 47. She gets 47 wings from Mike. All right. Notice now she's getting 7 more wings than she was getting before. Similarly, down here with Mike, let's say Mike gets 19 pizzas from Deborah, and he keeps 25 wings. Well, he's just as well off in terms of, well, no, he's +1, right, on the wings, on the pizza, because he had 18 in the last slide, and he's +7 in terms of the wings. So both Deborah and Mike are now, just by specializing in something, they're able to consume more than they could before when they were just producing everything for themselves. All right. All right, so it may be a little bit easier to see this on the production possibilities frontier graph. All right. So here we have Deborah and we have Mike. And so again, remember, if Deborah did nothing but produce pizzas, she could produce 60. If she did nothing but produce wings, she could produce 120. Mike, if all he did is produce pizza, 24. Volley did produce wings, 72. So there's their production possibilities frontier. And originally, before they exchanged, we had them here at, we had Deborah producing 40 pizzas and 40 wings, Mike producing 18 pizzas and 18 wings. So now we're going to let them trade, all right? So once we did let them trade, remember, Deborah did nothing but produce pizza, and she kept 41 of them, all right? And then she traded those to Mike for 47 wings, right? So now she is now at this point C, which was formerly unattainable to her. She now is able to consume outside of her production possibilities frontier. Similarly, Mike produced the 72 wings, kept 25 for himself, so he kept more than he had before, and he traded them to Deborah for 19 pizzas, again, more pizzas than he had before, and he's now able to produce outside of his production possibilities frontier. By exchanging with one another, they're both able to consume at points that are higher than they would have been able to consume without trade, all right? So let's look at this another way. Let's look at the opportunity cost. We're going to tie all of this back in with opportunity cost and specialization. All right. So let's look at the opportunity cost for one pizza. All right. What does it cost Deborah in terms of wings to produce one pizza? All right. Well, it's 2 wings. All right. And how do you find the opportunity cost? All right. Well, I know what her endpoints are. I know what it would look like if she did nothing but produce pizza and if she did nothing but produce wings. All right. So all you do is you take and you divide the number of wings by the number of pizzas, right? Because I want to know for one pizza. All right. So pizzas goes in the bottom. It's the thing I want in terms of what does it cost to make one pizza? You do 120 divided by the pizzas, and it's 2 wings. Now this only works for a linear production possibilities frontier, that it's this simple, but when we ask you these questions, that's what we're going to be looking for. So how about over here? What does it cost her to produce 1 wing? All right, well, again, the thing you want the one of, how much is it to do one of those, goes in the denominator, and the thing that you're trying to figure out that's in the units that you're giving up, you want in the numerator, all right? So it should be 60 pizzas over 120 wings, 60 divided by 120. So to make 1 wing, it cost her half a pizza, all right? For Mike, what does it cost Mike to produce 1 pizza? Again, you put the thing you are giving up one of, the thing that you are producing 1 more of in the denominator, and then you put the other thing in the numerator. So it cost him 3 wings. So 72 wings divided by 24 pizzas. Again, we wanted 1 pizza, so pizza goes in the denominator, and we get it in terms of wings. All right. The same thing here. What is the opportunity cost of him producing 1 more wing? Again, wings goes in the denominator, and pizzas goes in the numerator, so we get 1/3 pizza. So the opportunity cost of him producing 1 more wing is 1/3 pizza. All right. So now I'm just going to take some of that off so we can look at comparative advantage. Remember, comparative advantage is whoever has the lower opportunity cost has the comparative advantage. All right. So who has the lower opportunity cost for producing pizza? Well, Deborah has to give up 2 wings, and Mike has to give up 3 wings. So Deborah has the lower opportunity cost for producing pizza. She gives up less wings. So Deborah has the comparative advantage in producing pizza. All right. What about for wings? Deborah gives up half a pizza to produce a wing, but Mike only gives up 1/3 of a pizza to produce a wing. So Mike has the comparative advantage in terms of producing wings. Mike gives up less. His opportunity cost of producing wings is lower. So Mike has the comparative advantage. All right, that's what comparative advantage means. It means who has the lower opportunity cost. All right. All right. So previously we talked about the gains from trade that Deborah and Mike could experience by one of them specializing in one thing and one of them specializing in the other. You know, at the time you may have wondered, how did they decide exactly how many pizzas to trade for how many wings? Well, before I just kind of told you what that was. So now let's take a little bit more detailed look at this. And what we call that idea is the terms of trade. It's the relative prices or exchange rates between two goods. So how many wings equals how many pizzas, all right? So let's look first over here at our opportunity cost for pizza, all right? So we're gonna think about how many wings is one pizza worth to Deborah, right? So that's here, right? So one pizza equals 2 wings. So for Deborah, one pizza equals 2 wings, because that's her opportunity cost. For Mike, one pizza equals 3 wings. That's his opportunity cost, right? One pizza equals 3 wings. So wings. So the ratio of pizza to wings for Deborah is 1 to 2, or a half, and the ratio for Mike is 1 pizza to 3 wings, or 0.333. All right. So what would the terms of trade be here, right? They don't have the same valuation of wings to pizza, but still, I think maybe a trade could happen. All right. So let's think of 19 pizzas for 47 wings, or 19 to 47, or 0.4. So notice, all I need is a number in between their valuation. As long as there's an overlap between the two, all right, then they can come to some agreement. As long as they're not actually exactly the same number, as long as there is a space between these two, then some number, I just picked 0.4 here, but it could be something closer to 0.5, closer to 0.3, kind of depends on how good of a negotiator they are, but at least there is a terms of trade that would allow them to exchange pizza and wings, all right? So as long as the terms of trade are between the opportunity costs of trading partners, the trade will benefit both sides. So as long as we're able to find something in between, then they'll be able to find some terms of trade that will allow them to trade. All right. So what I want to leave you with here is a clip from Castaway. It kind of speaks for itself. It's a world in which there's no specialization and no trade. Even worse than Mike and Deborah's world of only pizza or only wings, or the world where they have to produce all the pizza and wings that they want to eat. So again, the link for this will be down in the comment section on YouTube, and so I'll see you on the next screencast.